Great, thank you. Let's start with your first name and last name.
Sure, Ben Horsley, Horsley, Granite School District Superintendent.
Thank you so much, Ben. And just give me 1 second. I'm going to set this up so I can log while we do this. And just a second. Okay. All right. And I'm going to pull up my questions as well, which are right here. All right. And we have your name spelling, but would you just do that one more time, please?
Sure, Ben Horsley, Horsley, Granite School District Superintendent.
Thank you for talking to us today.
No problem.
So please tell us about what's happening. You know,
sure.
There was a notice out that there's a proposal to increase property taxes. Please explain what's happening.
Sure. The average home in Granite School District is roughly a little over $500,000, and the proposed budget that we adopted in June includes a tax increase of roughly about $100 for that average home size. That's to recoup costs from lost state funding, and has been in the news lately. Federal funding freeze, education funding's kind of been a challenge as of late. So there was about $7 million worth of lost revenue due to restructuring at the legislative level, at the state level, to our budgets this last year, this last legislative session. So we actually ended it, while there was a 4% WPU increase with some of the strategic changes in how funding comes to Granite School District, we actually ended up in the hole about negative $7 million. So in addition to recouping those costs and preserving those services and not wanting to cut services to our families, we're recouping those costs as part of that tax increase. And in addition to that, we're reducing class sizes at our youngest class size levels.
Now, a lot of people are wondering.
Turn your phone so the screen's not
yes,
facing the camera.
Of course, yes.
Thanks.
Does this work? Perfect. Thank you so much. Now, my question was, a lot of people are wondering, where is this money going to go to? You've broken down some of that cost, but please elaborate more. How will these funds be used?
Well, we have a couple of unfunded mandates from the state, including they've eliminated our ability to collect school fees. So generally when you took a class, school in and of itself was free, but if you took an art class, you had to pay an art fee to be able to get materials that we could pay for those art supplies. If you took a wood shop class, we obviously don't provide the wood. You would have to purchase that. We don't have the ability under state law to collect those fees anymore. So that's about a $3 million hit over the course of a 2-year period. In addition to that, HB 84, which is the school security bill passed 2 years ago, requires guardians or armed security in every school. That's personnel. It's very expensive. So that is the other large unfunded mandate that we're faced with. So the bulk of that funding is actually going to those two initiatives alone. Another couple $1 million to a class size reduction. Again, we're reducing class sizes from 27.25 to 24, one teacher to every 24 kids. We'd love to get it a little bit lower at those younger age grades. That'll be a K through 2 class size reduction, and then we're providing some additional administrative and instructional supports in the schools themselves.
Now, a question that comes to mind is instructor and teacher salaries. Mm-hmm. Will any of this money be used to increase the pay of teachers in the Granite School District?
As part of our overall budget, it does include an increased teacher compensation, a 1.75% cost of living adjustment. And we did fund steps and lanes for all of our teachers and employees as well.
Now, people are shocked that at this proposal, they're saying...
Who's shocked?
People in the community. They're shocked.
Anybody in specific? Because I'm not hearing much from anybody.
Facebook comments,
sure.
Posted, and people commenting, saying, how come, why is this happening? How can we trust that Granite School District will use this money appropriately? What do you say to people who are frustrated and upset with these possible tax
Come on
increase?
down. Let's talk through our budget. Come to the public hearing on the 5th. Look at our budget. All that information's on the website. We've shared that information with our public. There's a process that we've gone through. If you're paying attention and you know we adopted our budget in a public hearing in June, you knew that these tax increases were a potential. So if the expectation is that we reduce services, we're just disinclined to do that at this point in time due to the lack of funding from the state and some of these unfunded mandates as well. And if you're looking at what's happening at the federal level, we had $5 million alone here in Granite School District that was frozen until last Friday, and that was uncertain of whether we would get that funding or not. Due to those other changes at the state level, we'll also see a reduction in $15 million in the upcoming next 2 years that we have to figure out a way to fund as well. So that's either a reduction in services or we're going to have to raise taxes to compensate that revenue.
And you've explained that really well. This was really important for me to talk to you, to learn and answer these questions. Another question is, what do you say to state, local, and federal government agencies who are putting this struggle on school districts like yours? What do you say to local and state lawmakers?
Sure. Come to our classrooms. Come out and see what we're doing with these funding. Our legislators locally have been very responsive. We held a budget meeting with them back in June, actually back in May, when we had an idea what our budget was going to look like and the potential for a tax increase, and explained what changes they had made. I personally emailed every single legislator that represents Granite School District area 2 days before the session ended and told them that the changes that they had just voted on would cost us $7 million. And so our legislators are very responsive and aware of some of the challenges and the structural changes that have occurred. And we have a good working relationship with our legislative partners. That's just the direction the state has chosen to go in terms of how they fund public education. And we have to respond. We only have one tool to be able to do so, and that is through property taxes. So we're put in a bind. Do we cut services, or do we retain those services, retain competitive salaries, to retain quality employees, or do we cut those services back and increase class sizes to be able to balance the budget?
Does Granite School District have assets they could sell off to cover some of that funding instead of increasing property taxes?
Not really, and we wouldn't want to do that either, because a one-time funding kick doesn't prolong the budget in and of itself. If you have a budget gap, you need ongoing revenue to fill that. You can't use a one-time source to be able to do that.
It seems like your hands are tied on how you can get funding. But what do you say to lawmakers who, you did reach out to them. So what was their response when you told them, what was their response when you told lawmakers your concerns over what the next several funding would look like?
Again, the 2 days before the legislature end, when I indicated to them the potential impacts of these legislative changes, most of our local legislative officials were very responsive and very helpful in wanting to work to resolve those concerns. Unfortunately, the bill still passed. It was HB 2 was the primary bill that had a lot of these structural changes in it. Most of our legislators came out and participated in our budget luncheon. They knew exactly what we were looking at in terms of a negative 4% WPU increase this year. We came into this budget year negative 4%. And when your revenue at home is decreased, you have to find a new source of revenue, or you have to reduce the services. We're just disinclined to reduce services at this point in time.
Did lawmakers indicate any type of new bill or some type of help in the future session?
I've not gotten that type of response at this point in time. A lot of, I won't speak to that, but this is an overall funding equation. If you look at where the state has gone, it looks like they're attempting to eliminate the income tax. We've seen sharp decreases in the income tax cuts these last few years, which is the primary source for public education funding. But there were some very specific and targeted structural changes in this year's legislative and budget bill that had direct impact on Granite School District and all school districts throughout the state of Utah.
So what do you want people to know about what's happening?
If you have questions, call us. Come down to our public hearing. We're happy to explain our budget. All the information's on the website. Anybody can look at our budget at any time. We're trying to be as open and transparent as possible, but if you have specific questions, a lot of people's concerns are going to go to the fact that their home value has gone up, and as a result, their tax impact has increased as well. But that being said, we're here to help. We're here to answer questions. And at the same time, we have a job and a responsibility, and unfortunately, the bulk of those cuts have fallen on us to find a way to resolve.
What about families that can't afford this increase? What do you say to them?
I say, I'm very sorry. I don't know how else to garner revenue under state law. We only have one revenue source, and that's property taxes. And I'm empathetic to elderly people on fixed incomes. $100 a year is no small thing. And our board has been very cognizant of this. And if you've been paying attention over the last few months, and we've had these discussions not only with our lawmakers directly, but in our budget approval sessions and now coming up to the public hearing, you can go back and see those conversations and our concern for having the need to even raise taxes at this point in time.
Anything else you would like to add?
No, we're fully empathetic to the fact that the plight of so many of our families who are struggling. Granite School District is one of the most diverse school districts in the state of Utah, and even in the Intermountain West. We serve some of the highest income families in the state, and we also serve some of the most impoverished families. And so we have a diverse array of students that we need to serve, and again, we're just disinclined to reduce services to those students as a result of these cuts.
What happens if this property tax is not approved?
Then we would have to go back and cut the budget and cut those services.
Thank you so much. Let me just check my questions, make sure I talk about everything. Where will this money be used? How much money does the district need? And that you talked about some numbers, but let me just get that from you. What is
the tax increase in and of itself? We have an over $800 million budget. This new revenue is only about $13 million. So 7 of that is to recoup lost revenue from the state. The other roughly $6 million is to pay for a class size reduction and additional administrative and instructional supports in schools.
Perfect. And let me just pull something up so I can get that information just to make sure I have it correct. Give me 1 second. Where is that? In this, why is my phone doing this? And we're good, Drew, on the interview. I just want to ask him about this. Do you want a 2-shot? Do you just want me to wait?
I already got
okay.
it, but that last question.